let's check in with the third member of our crew, Taylor Verrico.
Hey, John. Well, as you can see, I'm smiling ear to ear because even though it looks different, football is back, and that's always something to smile about. Coach, undefeated regular season. You did what you had to do today, but now all focus shifts to the playoffs. If the committee's watching right now, tell me why. Plead your case. Sam Houston is a top seed.
Well, that's a really good football team, and no one has stopped that offense all year long.
LSU is on track to break both NCAA records of most points scored in a season and most yards. I know they're in the bottom of the conference with a 3-10 overall record, but they just put up a fight against the #1 team in Conference USA. Coach, you win, you dance. Let's see a preview. What they're seeing in there. Come on.
That's just for the boys. That's just for the boys. Yeah, I got to remember, at my age, I don't even want to know what it looks like.
All right, thanks, Coach. Congratulations, David. And I know they're clogging the paint defensively, but how do you get your post players going here in the second half? What can you say about your offensive line and them being able to create those holes for you to be so successful? Usually teams don't have a chance to avenge a loss during the regular season, but it's 2020. The best offense being this UAB team. They're averaging almost 74 points per game. That's leading Conference USA. Coach, you said one of the biggest keys to winning this ball game would be stopping HBU in transition. How happy are you with your conversion defense in the first half? Coach Dietrich and company said that they want to get the run game started early, and that's going to give them the best chance at the win.
No Michael Thomas and no Emmanuel Sanders, but that was no problem for the Saints.
UIW applauds themselves on being the top team in the FCS in turnover margin. First and foremost, I do want to talk about how great it feels outside. Y'all know I thrive in this climate. Extremely sad right now and quiet outside the Superdome. You could just feel the sadness in the city right now, and you could also feel it inside the Saints locker room. Last night, I swear, a pin could drop and you would be able to hear it after the Saints season officially came to an end. As for the Cowboys, taking on Southern for just the second time in school history, and the fans, they came out to support. There wasn't an empty seat inside Cowboys Stadium, a stadium that seats over 17,000. Coach Chase Forcade turns on the Jets, 64 yards to give you the go-ahead score. On LSU's opening drive, Joe Burrow, he's going to have forever to throw here. He can just go ahead and have a picnic. Credit to his O-line. That's incredible blocking. When you have that much time, good things happen. He darts one to Jamar Chase in the back of the end zone. Breeze with the play action pass to Traquan Smith for the wide open 13-yard score. Saints take a 14-0 lead. With under 15 seconds to go till the break, it's Lonzo again. Zero hesitation from him on the outside. Pelicans scored 80 points in the first half. How about those Astros? George Springer hit a career high 3 Springer dingers on Sunday, including this leadoff homer that marked his 12th leadoff home run of the season. Then we'd see the Broncos strike. Kyle Bartley gets the snap, finds Tavian Grace on the screen pass, and he takes off.
And Biancastelli, more of the save. Your 4-time player of the year in the Southland has just leveled us 2 runs apiece.
I don't know if words will ever do justice for what she's done for us. Erica is, besides being talented, is one of the most humble people I've ever met. To be able to handle locker room, handle success with such grace, and stay humble through the process, it has been just special to be a part of.
Looking back at it, I think, yeah, I broke a lot of records and set some standards high, but I think these 4 years, I have personally grown way more than anyone I think knows.
Erica Biancastelli put McNeese softball on the map thanks to her historic 4-year career. While playing for the Cowgirls, she set a total of 20 career and single-season records, including runs scored, RBIs, and home runs. Her numbers suggest she's arguably the greatest athlete in McNeese history.
When you go to decorating, what you're doing is you're actually talking about facts and not opinions, and I think she is. It's pretty impressive. It seemed like it's every offensive record that was out there every week, or she was breaking them since last year, career and single season records. So it's hard to argue about her talent. I think everyone in the country sees how special that Erica is.
A lot of great kids on the team, but Erica is up there, one of the greatest players of all time, one of the top 20 softball players in the country.
I'm honored to be able to be recognized as one of the best players, but for me, it was just, I had so much fun being here, and I had so much fun playing for this team and wearing McNeese across my chest.
And there's no doubt Pion Castelli has left Lake Charles feeling that same exact way about her.
She's just so much more than just a great player, so I think that's very unique to find. But yeah, she's definitely one of the most talented athletes I've ever seen.
McNeese has given me so much that I think what I've given them is just not even half of what they've given me. So just being able to be recognized and knowing that my hard work did pay off, even though it wasn't really something I was going for, I was just playing to have fun. McNeese has just given me so much, and just to be able to give that in return is just, it's an honor.
My dad's best attribute was his relationships with people, especially with young kids. That's probably garnered him more wins in life than anything.
When I think of Coach Wall, I get kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling, because he left that impression to me.
I love him, That's everybody that knew him loved him.
He was the man in Welsh.
Former Welsh head coach Dutton Wall has been described as a humble man who was compassionate and, above all else, kind. He was someone who could communicate with just a single look.
He wasn't a screamer or a holler, completely opposite of me. When he disciplined you, he didn't have to do anything more than just look at you and just kind of turn away, and kind of melted your heart a little bit that you disappoint him.
His compassion for the kids was so great that you just thought the world of him. You respected him so much, you didn't want to disappoint him.
He always got the best out of everybody. Made you a great person also. I mean, he was somebody you didn't want to disappoint.
When you grew up, you wanted to be a Greyhound, but part of being a Greyhound was wanting to play for Coach Wall.
But Wall was more than just a coach. He was a role model to a generation of Greyhounds.
He reminded me a lot of my dad. When I came to Welsh High School, Coach Wall was the example of what I wanted to do in life.
He was such a people person. Every person that played for him, he knew their first name, middle name.
The student athletes that he came in contact with were guys that needed his leadership, as a father.
It took me to become into coaching and stuff to realize all the sacrifices he made for our family to reach out and touch a bunch of other people's lives.
Wall spent over 50 years coaching. 27 of those years were spent at Welsh. He took the Hounds to a pair of state title games in '89 and '92. And with Welsh's return this past season, he sent a message to the team.
The championship game, he actually he wrote a letter and sent it to me and said that he wanted to wish us the best of luck, and they had been to the Dome in '89 and '92, and he said, we left something there, and I want you to bring it back.
He was proud of Welsh. He was proud of Port Sulphur and Sacred Heart and Crowley and all the other places that he coached.
And that's what made Wall so special. It wasn't the X's and O's or what happened in between the lines. He cared for his players, genuinely cared.
When I came here, he said, family comes first, and then we'll talk football. They just don't make coaches like that no more.
Every year, he'd give us a speech about God and family first, then your education, and then your friendships and sports and those things. And I think he kept those priorities straight through his life.
This legacy will live on forever.